Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. If you're looking to master Docker commands and elevate your containerization skills, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we'll be diving into some of the most essential Docker commands that every developer and DevOps engineer should know. Whether you're a beginner just getting started with Docker, or a seasoned professional looking to brush up on your skills, this video will have something for you. We'll cover commands for managing containers, images, volumes, and networks, along with tips and tricks to make your workflow more efficient. By the end of this video, you'll be comfortable with commands like Docker run, Docker ps, Docker exec, and many more. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get started on this Docker journey together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest tutorials. Let's dive in. So the first command is Docker version. The Docker version command is your go-to for checking the installed Docker version on your system. This command provides detailed information about the Docker client and server, including the version number, build details, and operating system specifics. Let's see the syntax Docker space version. As you can see from the output, the Docker version command gives us two main sections: the client information and the server information. Each section provides key details like the Docker version, API version, Go version, and more. This information is crucial for troubleshooting and ensuring compatibility with other Docker tools and services. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker info. The Docker info command retrieves and displays detailed information about the Docker daemon. It provides an overview of various aspects of the Docker environment, including its configuration, usage statistics, and capabilities. Let's see the syntax Docker info. Here is an example of the output you might see when running Docker info. The Docker info command is essential for understanding the configuration and capabilities of the Docker daemon running on your system. It provides a comprehensive view of Docker's environment, helping you manage and troubleshoot Docker containers and services effectively. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker pull. The Docker pull command is used to download Docker images from a Docker registry, typically Docker Hub. This command fetches the specified image along with its layers from the registry and stores it locally on your machine. Let's see the syntax Docker pull. Options: name, tag. At digest, name is the name of the image you want to pull. Tag, optional, is the specific version of the image. If not specified, Docker pulls the image with the latest tag. Digest, optional, allows pulling an image by its SHA-256 digest for precise version control. The Docker pull command is essential for downloading Docker images to your local environment. Whether you're pulling the latest version, specific tags, or using private registries, mastering this command is crucial for efficient Docker usage. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker build. The Docker build command in Docker is used to build a Docker image from a Docker file and context. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax Docker build. Options: path, URL, dash, path specifies the location of the Docker file and the build context, files to be included in the image. URL, a Git repository URL containing a Docker file, reads a Docker file from standard input, std-in. The Docker build command is essential for creating Docker images efficiently and reproducibly. By understanding its options, components like Dockerfile and build context, you can build customized Docker images tailored to your application's requirements. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker run. The Docker run command in Docker is used to create and start a new container from a Docker image. It allows you to specify various options to configure how the container runs. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax Docker run. Options: image, command, arg. Options: additional configurations for the container, e.g. networking, volumes, image, the Docker image used to create the container. Command, the command to run inside the container, overrides the default CMD specified in the Docker file. Arg, arguments passed to the command running inside the container. The Docker run command is fundamental for starting Docker containers based on Docker images. By understanding its options and usage, you can effectively manage and run containers for various applications and services. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker ps. The Docker ps command in Docker is used to list the currently running containers. It provides an overview of the container's basic information such as their IDs, names, status, ports, and more. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax Docker ps. Options. Options. Additional options to filter the list of containers. The Docker ps command is essential for monitoring and managing Docker containers. By leveraging its options and filters, you can efficiently view container statuses, IDs, and other relevant information. This command is particularly useful when managing multiple containers across different Docker environments. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker stop. The docker stop command in Docker is used to gracefully stop a running container. It sends a sigterm signal to the container, allowing it some time, by default, 10 seconds, to shut down gracefully before sending a sigkill signal, which forcibly terminates the container. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker stop. Options. Container. Container. The ID or name of the containers to stop. The docker stop command is essential for managing Docker containers, allowing you to gracefully shut down running containers. By using options like T to specify the timeout period, you can control how long Docker waits for a container to stop before forcefully terminating it. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker start. The docker start command in Docker is used to start one or more stopped containers. It allows you to resume containers that were previously created and stopped. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker start. Options. Container. Options. Additional options to configure the container's behavior when starting. Container. The ID or name of the containers to start. The docker start command is straightforward and essential for managing Docker containers, allowing you to resume stopped containers to continue their operations. By using options like A for attaching to container output, you can monitor and interact with containers effectively. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker restart. The docker restart command in Docker is used to stop and then start one or more running containers. It allows you to restart containers without needing to manually stop and start them separately. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker restart. Options. Container. Options. Additional options to configure the container's behavior when restarting. Container. The ID or name of the containers to restart. The docker restart command is convenient for restarting containers in a straightforward manner. It helps in cases where you need to apply configuration changes or simply reset a container while maintaining its state. By understanding its usage, you can Let's see the next command. Next command is docker rm. The docker rm command is used to remove one or more Docker containers from your local system. It's a vital tool for cleaning up containers that are no longer needed, whether they are stopped or have exited after completing their tasks. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker rm. Options. Container. Options. Additional options to customize the removal process. Container. The name or ID of the containers to remove. The docker rm command is essential for managing your Docker environment by cleaning up unused containers. Understanding its options and usage helps in maintaining a tidy and efficient Docker setup. By using options like F for forceful removal or the V for removing volumes, you can tailor the command to your specific needs. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker rim. The docker rim command in Docker is used to remove one or more Docker images from your local machine. It helps you clean up unused or unwanted images to free up disk space. Here's how you can use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker rim. Options. Image. Options. Additional options to customize the behavior of removing images. Image. The name or ID of the images to remove. The docker rim command is essential for managing Docker images on your local machine. By using options like F for forceful removal or no prune to manage parent images, you can efficiently clean up unused images and manage your Docker environment effectively. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker logs. The docker logs command in Docker is used to fetch the logs of a running container. It allows you to view the standard output, stout, and standard error, stir, logs generated by the container's main process. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax. Docker logs. Options. Container. Options. Additional options to configure the behavior of fetching logs. Container. The ID or name of the container whose logs you want to fetch. The docker logs command is essential for monitoring and debugging Docker containers by providing access to their logs. By using options like F for real-time logs or tail to limit the number of lines displayed, you can effectively manage and troubleshoot containers in your Docker environment. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker exec. The docker exec command in Docker is used to run a command in a running container. This allows you to interactively execute commands or start new processes within an already running container without stopping or restarting it. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax: docker exec, options, container command, arg, options, additional options to configure the execution environment. Container, the name or ID of the container where you want to execute the command. Command, the command to run inside the container. Arg, optional arguments for the command. The docker exec command is powerful for interacting with running containers. It provides flexibility to run commands, perform maintenance, troubleshoot, or start interactive sessions without stopping the container. Understanding its options and usage enhances your ability to manage and operate within Docker containers effectively. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker images. The docker images command is used to list all the Docker images stored on your local machine. It provides a detailed view of all available images, including their repository names, tags, IDs, creation dates, and sizes. This command is essential for managing and keeping track of the images you have downloaded or created. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use this command effectively. Let's see the syntax: docker images, options, repository, tag, options, additional options to filter or customize the list of images. Repository, optionally specify a repository name and tag to filter the output. The docker images command is a crucial tool for managing and viewing Docker images on your local machine. It provides a comprehensive overview and includes various options to filter and format the output according to your needs. Understanding how to use this command effectively can help you manage your Docker environment more efficiently. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker inspect. The docker inspect command is a powerful utility in Docker used to retrieve detailed information about Docker objects. These objects can be containers, images, networks, or volumes. The command returns detailed JSON output describing the specified object, which is useful for troubleshooting, auditing, and understanding the configuration and state of Docker objects. Let's see the syntax: docker inspect, options, name, ID, options, additional options to format or filter the output. Name, ID, the name or ID of the Docker objects you want to inspect. The docker inspect command is invaluable for obtaining detailed, structured information about Docker objects. It helps in understanding how objects are configured and their current state, which is essential for debugging, monitoring, and managing Docker environments. Using the F option to format the output can greatly simplify the extraction of specific details from the JSON data. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker network. The docker network command in Docker is used to manage and configure networks for Docker containers. Docker's networking features allow containers to communicate with each other and with external systems. The docker network command encompasses several subcommands that enable you to create, inspect, list, and remove networks, among other tasks. Let's see the syntax: docker network command. Options, additional options that may modify the behavior of the command. Command, the specific subcommand to execute, such as create, ls, inspect, etc. Arg, arguments or parameters specific to the subcommand being used. The docker network command is essential for managing Docker networks and configuring how containers communicate with each other and the outside world. Understanding its subcommands and options allows you to create, inspect, and manage Docker networks effectively, tailored to the needs of your applications and deployment environments. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker volume. The docker volume command in Docker is used to manage Docker volumes. Volumes are a key mechanism in Docker for persisting data beyond the life of a container and sharing data between containers. They provide a way to decouple the application's data from the container's file system, making data management more efficient and robust. Let's see the syntax: docker volume command. Options, additional options to modify the behavior of the command. Command, the specific subcommand to execute, such as create, ls, inspect, etc. Arg, arguments or parameters specific to the subcommand being used. Mastering the docker volume command is crucial for effectively managing persistent data in Docker containers. Whether you're creating, listing, inspecting, removing, or pruning volumes, these commands enable you to maintain data integrity and efficiently manage resources within Docker environments. Let's see the next command. Next command is docker tag. The Docker tag command in Docker is used to create a new tag for an existing Docker image. Tags in Docker allow you to label images with meaningful identifiers, such as version numbers or descriptive names, which help in managing and referencing images more effectively. Here's how you can use the Docker tag command. Let's see the syntax: Docker tag source_image, tag, target_image, tag, source_image, the name of the existing Docker image you want to tag, target_image, the repository name, and optionally a tag for the new image tag. The Docker tag command is essential for managing Docker images effectively by providing meaningful labels and versions. By tagging images, you can streamline your development, testing, and deployment processes, ensuring consistency and clarity in image management. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker push. The Docker push command is used in Docker to push or upload a local Docker image to a specified Docker registry, making it available for use by others or on other systems. Here's a detailed explanation of how to use the Docker push command. Let's see the syntax: Docker tag source_image, tag, target_image, tag, name, the name of the Docker image, tag, optional, the tag associated with the image. The Docker push command is essential for sharing and distributing Docker images across different environments and systems. Whether you're deploying applications to Docker Hub or managing private registries, understanding how to push Docker images is crucial for effective container management. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker commit. The Docker commit command in Docker is used to create a new image from changes made to a container. This command is useful when you need to save modifications or configurations made within a container into a new image that can be reused or shared. Here's how you can use the Docker commit command. Let's see the syntax: Docker commit, options, container, repository, tag, container, the ID or name of the container you want to commit changes from, repository, optional, the name of the repository to create the new image in, tag, optional, the tag to assign to the new image. The Docker commit command provides flexibility in Docker by allowing you to capture changes made to a container and save them as a new image. Whether for custom configurations, debugging, or quick image creation, understanding how to use Docker commit effectively can streamline your Docker workflow. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker save. The Docker save command in Docker is used to save one or more Docker images to a tar archive file. This command is particularly useful for exporting Docker images from your local Docker environment, which can then be transferred to another machine or stored for backup purposes. Here's how you can use the Docker save command. Let's see the syntax: Docker save, options, image, the name or ID of the Docker images to save, options, additional options that modify the behavior of the command. The Docker save command is essential for exporting Docker images as tar archives, facilitating image backup, distribution, or migration between Docker environments. Understanding how to use Docker save enables you to manage Docker images effectively in various deployment scenarios. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker load. The Docker load command in Docker is used to load Docker images from a tar archive file created with the Docker save command. This command is crucial for importing Docker images into a Docker environment from a previously exported tar file. Here's how you can use the Docker load command. Let's see the syntax: Docker load, options, additional options that modify the behavior of the command. The Docker load command is essential for importing Docker images from tar archive files into Docker environments. Whether you are restoring backups, migrating images, or deploying across different systems, understanding how to use Docker load facilitates efficient management of Docker images. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker export. The Docker export command in Docker is used to export the file system of a container as a tar archive. Unlike Docker save, which deals with Docker images, Docker export operates on containers and exports the container's file system at a specific point in time. Here's how you can use the Docker export command. Let's see the syntax: Docker export, options, container, container_ID, the ID or name of the container to export. The Docker export command provides a straightforward way to export the file system of a Docker container into a tar archive. This can be useful for various tasks such as extracting application data, creating backups, or sharing specific files across different environments. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker import. The Docker import command in Docker is used to import a tarball, or a file, that contains a Docker image into the local Docker environment. This command allows you to create a new Docker image from the contents of a tar archive file, where the tarball contains the file system of an image, its metadata, and configuration. Here's how you can use the Docker import command. Let's see the syntax. Docker import, options, file, URL, repository, tag, file, URL, dash, the source tarball file or URL to import, use, to read from standard input, stdin, repository, optional, the repository name for the new image, tag, optional, the tag for the new image. The Docker import command is useful for creating Docker images from tar archive files containing image file systems, metadata, and configurations. This capability allows for customization, migration, and distribution of Docker images across different Docker environments. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker pause. The Docker pause command in Docker is used to pause one or more running containers. When a container is paused, all processes inside the container are temporarily halted, meaning they are not executed or consuming CPU resources. Here's how you can use the Docker pause command. Let's see the syntax. Docker pause container, container, the ID or name of the containers to pause. The Docker pause command provides a straightforward way to temporarily suspend operations within Docker containers without terminating them. This functionality is beneficial for scenarios where you need to conserve resources or pause activities temporarily while maintaining the container's state. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker unpause. The Docker unpause command in Docker is used to resume execution of one or more paused containers. When you pause a container using Docker pause, its processes are halted and it enters a paused state. The Docker unpause command allows you to reverse this action and resume the container's operations. Here's how you can use the Docker unpause command. Let's see the syntax. Docker unpause container, the ID or name of the containers to unpause. The Docker unpause command provides a straightforward way to resume operations within Docker containers that were previously paused using Docker pause. This capability allows for efficient resource management and control over container execution states. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker rename. The Docker rename command in Docker is used to rename an existing container. This command allows you to change the name of a Docker container to a new name that you specify. Here's how you can use the Docker rename command. Let's see the syntax. Docker rename container new_name. Container, the current name or ID of the container you want to rename. New_name, the new name you want to assign to the container. The Docker rename command provides a straightforward way to change the name of Docker containers. This capability is useful for maintaining clarity and organization within Docker environments, especially when managing multiple containers or applications. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker events. The Docker events command in Docker is used to monitor events that occur within the Docker daemon. It provides a real-time stream of events related to containers and other Docker objects. Here's how you can use the Docker events command. Let's see the syntax. Docker events, options. The Docker events command provides a powerful way to monitor Docker daemon activities and events in real time. Whether for troubleshooting, logging, or understanding container life cycles, Docker events is a valuable tool in Docker management and operations. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker difference. The Docker difference command in Docker is used to inspect changes made to the file system of a container. It shows the differences between the container's file system and its base image file system. Here's how you can use the Docker difference command. Let's see the syntax. Docker difference container, the ID or name of the container whose file system changes you want to inspect. The Docker difference command offers visibility into file system changes within Docker containers, helping users track modifications and understand the impact of operations within containerized environments. It's a valuable tool for troubleshooting and maintaining containerized applications. Let's see the next command. Next command is Docker wait. The Docker wait command in Docker is used to block until a container stops and then prints the container's exit code. This command is particularly useful for scripting and automation where you need to wait for a container to finish its execution before proceeding with further actions. Here's how you can use the Docker wait command. Let's see the syntax. Docker wait container, the ID or name of the container you want to wait for. The Docker wait command is an essential tool for managing Docker containers in scenarios where you need to synchronize actions based on the lifecycle of a container. By waiting for a container to stop and retrieving its exit code, you can make informed decisions in your automation and scripting workflows.
If you have any question or any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye and have a nice day.